Friday, June 17, 1994. A shocking murder had just shaken the city, leaving two women dead in cold blood. The investigation was underway and all fingers pointed to one man, a former football star. But what transpired next was beyond anyone's expectations. A white Ford Bronco, plate number 3DHY503, emerged onto the streets, capturing the gaze of television screens across the nation. With 95 million viewers hooked to their TVs and crowds gathering along Southern California roads, a slow-paced police pursuit unfolded before their eyes. This high-speed chase even managed to momentarily halt an NBA playoff game, marking the birth of a fascination that would endure: the obsession with car chases. This is the gripping story of the iconic O.J. Simpson white Bronco Police Chase. But before we jump into this wild ride, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's begin. Why was O.J. Simpson wanted? It all started on the morning of June 12, 1994. Nicole Brown Simpson, O.J.'s ex-wife, and their friend Ron Goldman were found brutally stabbed to death outside her Brentwood home. Nicole's body lay near the gate of her West Los Angeles condominium, revealing signs of a struggle. The viciousness of the attack was evident in the multiple stab wounds to her head and neck. Amidst these wounds, there were only a few defensive marks on her hands, suggesting a swift and terrifying confrontation. The extent of her injuries was chilling: a deep wound to her neck, severing her carotid artery. Even more disturbing was the presence of a large bruise on her upper back, accompanied by a corresponding footprint on her clothing. This disturbing evidence suggested that after killing Ron Goldman, the assailant returned to Nicole's body, stood on her back, and slit her throat. The horrific details were almost beyond comprehension. Her larynx was visible through the gaping wound, and her head barely clung to her body. Ron Goldman's body was found nearby, close to a tree and a fence. While he too had been stabbed multiple times in the body and neck, there were fewer defensive wounds on his hands, indicating a brief struggle. As investigators connected the dots, suspicion fell heavily on O.J. Simpson. Detectives were tasked with informing him of Nicole's death and escorting him to the police station to pick up their children. However, their attempts to reach him went unanswered, leading to a disturbing discovery at his home. Simpson's car was parked oddly, and blood on the door raised concerns for someone's well-being inside. Furman, one of the detectives, scaled the wall to unlock the gate for his colleagues. Inside, a blood-stained glove was found, matching the one beside Goldman's body, a crucial link that justified an arrest warrant for Simpson. Through a series of investigations and interviews, the net tightened around Simpson. A cut on his finger, consistent with the location where the killer bled, raised further questions. Simpson's demeanor was peculiar, his reactions concerning, and his actions puzzling. Despite giving some of his blood for comparison, Simpson hired a lawyer and underwent treatment for depression as the legal proceedings unfolded. By June 17th, detectives had accumulated enough evidence to recommend first-degree murder charges against Simpson. The LAPD alerted Simpson's lawyer that he needed to surrender. However, Simpson's intentions took a twist. He expressed his desire to turn himself in. The police agreed, assuming someone as famous as Simpson wouldn't flee. However, as the hour for surrender approached, he vanished with his friend Al Cowlings, leaving behind sealed letters and a city in shock. The LAPD officially declared O.J. a fugitive during a news conference after he fled. A few hours later, O.J. called 911 from a cell phone from inside the infamous white Ford Bronco, which allowed police to track his location to the 5 freeway in Orange County, where Nicole had been buried the day before. By 6 p.m. Pacific time, the chase was officially on. At around 6:20 p.m., a motorist in Orange County glanced at the highway and immediately sensed something was off. They grabbed their phone and dialed the California Highway Patrol, convinced they had just seen O.J. Simpson, believed to be riding in a white Ford Bronco, cruising on the I-5 freeway headed north. The news spread like wildfire, and law enforcement sprang into action. As the clock ticked to 6:45 p.m., the plot thickened. Police officer Ruth Dixon spotted the very Bronco on Interstate 405, barreling northward. She quickly caught up to the vehicle, only to be confronted with an astonishing scene. Al Cowlings, Simpson's longtime friend, was behind the wheel, and he was shouting that Simpson himself was seated in the back seat, a gun pressed to his own head. With adrenaline pumping, Dixon made a quick call. She decided to follow the Bronco, maintaining a steady pace of 35 miles per hour. This marked the beginning of a surreal chase that would unfold like a Hollywood blockbuster. In an unexpected twist, Zoe Tur from KCBS-TV leaped into the scene from a news helicopter. The use of mobile phone tracking had led her straight to Simpson's location at the El Toro Y. Tur was the first to spot Simpson, marking the moment the chase transformed into a full-blown media spectacle. What followed was a media frenzy unlike anything the city had ever seen. More than 9 news helicopters swarmed the skies, resembling something out of a thrilling action movie. Amid the chaos, emotions soared. The pursuit became more than just a chase. It turned into an emotional plea for Simpson to surrender. Detective Tom Lang managed to connect Simpson with his former USC football coach John McKay. Their conversation was raw, tearful, with Simpson making a solemn promise not to do anything reckless. McKay's words resonated over the airwaves as he urged Simpson to turn himself in, reinforcing a heartfelt sentiment that touched many across the country. As the hours rolled on, Los Angeles transformed. Streets emptied, and regular life came to a standstill. Everyone was tuned in, caught up in a shared experience that held the city and the nation in its grip. The major television networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, all halted their usual programming to broadcast the chase. An astonishing 95 million viewers across the country were locked onto their screens, a staggering number that eclipsed the viewership of that year's Super Bowl. Even as the chase unfolded, its impact extended beyond television. Overpasses were crowded with spectators, eagerly awaiting a glimpse of the white Bronco. In a surreal spectacle, these onlookers cheered and shouted slogans like "Go OJ, go!"
Go OJ! Go OJ!
A famous slogan from Simpson's Hertz commercials. Amid the chaos and suspense, Simpson's intentions remained unclear. He reportedly requested to speak to his mother before surrendering, adding another layer of complexity to the unfolding drama. The chase finally ended at around 8 p.m. outside Simpson's own Brentwood estate. There, his son Jason rushed out of the house in a flurry of gestures while 27 SWAT officers were on standby. After around 45 tense minutes within the Bronco, Simpson stepped out, clutching a framed family photo. His surrender marked the conclusion of an unparalleled spectacle that had held the world in suspense. Inside the Bronco, a trove of items were discovered: cash, a change of clothing, a loaded .357 Magnum, a United States passport, family pictures, and even a disguise kit, complete with a fake goatee and mustache. Continuing the saga of the infamous white Ford Bronco, it turns out that there were actually 2 Broncos involved in this case, each with its own story to tell. One belonged to Simpson himself, stained with traces of the victim's blood parked outside his Rockingham estate. The other was driven by his friend Al Cowlings during that dramatic low-speed chase that gripped the nation. The irony of it all is that Simpson had been a spokesperson for Ford from 1975 until that very day of the chase. But what happened to that chase vehicle after its 2 hours of fame? After the dust settled and the media frenzy subsided, the Bronco's journey continued. It was sold by Cowlings to a company called Starifax for $75,000, a handsome sum for a car that was originally worth a mere $1,800, according to Kelley Blue Book. However, this deal took an unexpected turn when Simpson's former agent Mike Gilbert stepped in with a different plan. Gilbert and 2 of Cowlings' friends decided that the Bronco's fate should not involve exploitation. They paid Cowlings $75,000 to take possession of the car, aiming to prevent it from being used in a disrespectful manner. Instead of allowing the vehicle to be a part of a macabre spectacle, they opted to preserve it as a piece of history. For years, the Bronco found its home in a condominium's apartment garage. In 2012, a new chapter unfolded in the Bronco's story. The Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas made an offer to put the iconic car on display as part of a sports memorabilia exhibit. The vehicle took its place in front of the hotel, sharing space with notable items like the 1999 Women's World Cup trophy. However, when the hotel suggested moving the car indoors, which would have required disassembling it, the owners declined. Their priority was to ensure the Bronco remained still in running condition, a testament to their respect for its historical significance. As the Bronco continues to captivate audiences, it stands as more than just a relic from a dramatic chase. It's a tangible piece of history, a symbol of a turbulent time that unfolded on live television. The vehicle's journey mirrors the complexity of the story it's connected to, one that goes beyond the chase, touching on matters of justice, memory, and the legacy of those involved. If you enjoyed this story, buckle up and stay tuned for more fascinating tales about your favorite car brands. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for a joyride through the world of automotive history. Thanks for watching. See you soon.